result they wanted in week one, but allowing the 10 points. What sort of sticks out about some of the things you got to be aware of with that game?
Well, it's as creative an offense as you'll ever see. I think Joe's one of the best offensive play callers and coordinators in football. You go back to his time at Penn State, he really got that program up and running. We did it when he did it at UConn, when he did it at Fordham. He's really creative. So they utilize a two-quarterback system. They look to the sideline / use the headset at a high level, see what you're in, try to attack it. Ton of skill. The Patrick kid played really well last week and then left the game. I have no idea if he's available or not, but he's an excellent player. They'll use both Finley and Johnson at quarterback. They can run the football. So they have a bunch of dynamic stuff, and it's they're running 3-level passing concepts with run plays and speed sweeps with corner routes. I mean, the level of discipline. They have every pick known to mankind. So if you want to play man, they're going to pick you, and legally, but pick you behind the line of scrimmage. So it's just a ton of really hard stuff. If you go back and look at them last year, he came on strong at the end of the year. Beat Toledo, which is hard to do. So he's an excellent football coach. They have a good team. The game last week was a hard-fought game. It was 3-0 until late in the game. And Wyoming scored late. You look at them defensively. They're stout. They're physical. They're strong. Their D line plays with tremendous energy and explosiveness. They don't give up big plays. I know they give up some yards, but the amount of yards you give up is like the most, or the amount you gain is like the most unimportant stat. Really, it's really points per play and expected drive success and all that. So the defense held them to 10 points. So yeah, it'd be a lot of things for us that challenge you from an X and O standpoint, right? I just literally told the team, like, it's your ability to play your man even when you think it's a run play, because it might not be a run play, and your ability to defend the reverse and defend the reverse pass and defend the RPO and defend the quarterback run. So it's all the things that bother you in one offense, and then defensively, they've got a great blitz package. So it's all the things that bother you from a defensive standpoint as well.
When you coached at Temple, you were sort of in that position of being the underdog. Do you remember, I'm sure you do, the kind of message you would give to your team as you would go into playing a team?
We weren't the underdog very often, though, Sam.
You were.
I mean, not year 1, year 2, but
yeah.
I'm saying year 3, year 4, we were pretty damn good.
Right.
So okay, I'm just saying this to be funny. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was just being funny. My Temple guys will be like, "Oh, really, Coach?" Trust me, they listen to everything and they have a lot of opinions.
20 games in the last.
Yeah, I'm just teasing you. No, in all seriousness, no, absolutely, because I'll never forget when Adam DeMichael was my quarterback. I was the OC at Penn State, going to Penn State, and seeing Ron Vanderlinden before the game and him being like, "Hey, you got a great quarterback now. Don't get him hurt today." And I see Ron later, and Ron's a great man. Him being like, I'm scared of Adam. I didn't want you to run him too much. So, I think, when you go in to these types of games, there's really nothing. You really have nothing in the world to lose and everything in the world to gain. And you have a bunch of players in your team who believe that they should be playing at the highest level and know that they're good players. And what's unique now that's different from before is it used to be like you played an FCS team and you saw a bunch of bounce-back players. Like now when you face any group of 5 team, they're going to have a lot of guys who played, one linebacker played in Illinois. I mean, like, they played a lot of football. And so, guys who know what this level's like and they know that they can play at this level. So, I think the message for me always was like, hey, we're competitors. We're going in to compete. Let's go compete. Let's take our shots, and we have nothing to lose. And on this end, we don't ever want to play the brand. We want to play the man. That's kind of always our message. Like, and that's whether we're playing Ohio State or whether we're playing Kent State. We want to play the guy lined up in front of us and play to a standard that. We're trying to attack that man, and so that was something that we were not great at last year. We played Ohio State to one level, we played other games to a different level. I told the team I think we lost to Illinois last year, and that started in the UNI game with the standard that we played at in the UNI game. And so, again, that's you guys probably always hear me say, don't listen to the outside noise, don't listen to this, don't listen to that, and that's not that's just really a mindset of like, what do we say as football players to ourselves? I got to play a certain level, and so just do that. So yeah, I mean. I told our team I'm uptight this week. This guy beat me the last time I faced him head to head. Like, like that was one of the worst moments of my coaching career. And so, if that was a player, I'd lose my mind. Coach Butler. Coach, I'm in the press conference. Can I call you back? Just did that for the cameras. Anyway, no, I told the guys I'm gonna be uptight this week. Right, this guy beat me. Right, he beat me in a monumental upset. You know, back when we were the underdogs. So yeah, I know. To me, I was always into these games like, hey, we're here to compete. We're here to play. You know, to your point, my third year at Temple, we played Notre Dame. Not many people gave us a chance. We were underdogs. It was college game day. Everyone and we played. We darn near won the game. And so, but we were just playing to play because we love the game. And so that's what I want to see from our guys tomorrow. I want to see them go out or Saturday, excuse me. I want to see them go out and play. They love to play. They love to play at home and go do that.
I know Ja'Cory kept playing after that tough hit in the opener. Is he all the way good back? How's your team health overall?
I think we're pretty healthy. We'll have to see where Ja'Cory's at. You know, he's been limited this week. He'll play in the game. You know, just what the volume of his role will be. To be quite honest, I didn't even know he was hurt until the end of the game. That's how much of a warrior that kid is. You know, I came in on Sunday. They're like, you know, he's questionable for next week. I said, yeah, he'll practice Tuesday. No, he won't practice. He practiced Tuesday. You know, I mean, he's just he practiced really well yesterday. He's just an infectious. He changes. He and Shavers changed the whole practice yesterday. Like their intensity and their commitment to just showing up at practice and loving the game is so infectious that we feel it when Ja'Cory is not out there. And that's you know, I'm sure they told me his ankle was hurt, but I just couldn't tell. You know, and I know he wasn't probably when you watch tape, probably not as explosive as he's used to, but he's still pretty dang explosive. So, but yeah, in terms of the volume, we'll have to just wait and see how he feels on game day. You know, it's September and it's going to be 55, 60 degrees. So, I'm sure that won't affect it, but just, I just have to wait and see. So, but we've had a good week with the other guys getting them ready.
How would you assess the week of practice based off of what you saw in the game film, what you wanted to work on this week?
I think we've had a great week. I'm always very hesitant when coaches say great week because you don't know how your week is until you play the game. But I've had no red flags. So the guys have worked hard. They've been very focused on working hard. They've been focused on working on the things, we call it deliberate practice, working on the things that we need to work on. And that's not like overall even. That's even just each guy. Like, hey, it's just it's like an autopsy of yourself after the first game when you see how you played. And you watch that first game and you're like, all right, oh man, I thought I'd do better than this. I thought I would handle this better. And so you can go back and work on it. So I feel like they've all done that. But we have to bring it to the game, and we don't want to talk about missed opportunities and all that after the game. So we have to go out and attack it. But I've been pleased with the guys this week.
As you go into these game day recruiting weekends, how do you feel about this foundation you've set for those future classes, those 27, 28 classes? Maybe in year 3, are you a little ahead of where you were?
Oh, certainly. I mean, this past class is the first class we've actually had. Remember when we talked about the building? I would remind everybody this is the first year we've actually had the building for recruiting. Like walking guys through concrete with hard hats does not wow them in recruiting. Showing them pictures does not wow them. You actually have to go into the building and see it. And so the things that we did this summer that I think were foundational, the Adidas 7-on-7, huddle, and, they had their own event. You got some people to Lincoln, getting guys from across the country to come here. I think that's been a game changer for us to finally have the building up and running, to have the training table. I think Troy in his press conference said to you guys a year ago, we were just serving our first meal on the training table. I mean, now we have a world-class facility that, people talk about. So, we're light years ahead of, I think, where we were. We have some of the best players in the country coming to visit. And again, I will always remind everyone, though, my goal is not to recruit the best recruits. My goal is to recruit the best players. And there's a big difference to me. So I want the guys whose skill sets, whose work ethic, and whose brains fit our culture of football. Not, I want to win the recruiting rankings battle. It's fun when you do, don't get me wrong. I mean, you like getting players that are recognized as being good players, but we have to find the right guys, and so we have to spend time with them. And so this will be a big weekend for us, to have all these top players here. So I'm excited, and I think some guy goes all the way to the 2030 class, and we have some guys at that level coming. So, but that's the type of team that we want to be. We want to be a destination for the top recruits in the country.
Does the Shavers Barney quality rank real high on your list of what you're looking for when recruits come through? Yeah, well, I've given my whole life, besides my family and my faith, I've given my whole life to football. So, I love having that, symbiotic relationship with players where like they love football and I love football and we both give to each other.
And I'm not mad when people don't love football. You know what I mean? Like some of my best friends are chefs, accountants, other things, right? And I love the fact that they're passionate about what they do. But I love to be around people who don't love being a football player or being a football coach, but who actually love coaching or who actually love football or who actually love playing it. So when I get around guys, I think it's a true quality of Florida guys. I mean, you get a guy, you see a guy throw up 305 or something like that, like they practice like it's they practice like it's a game, and they practice like it's recess. It doesn't mean it's not other places. It's just for some we get when Florida kids like they just play football all year round. I grew up in New York City. We played basketball all year round, right? So it's a kind of a basketball culture. Well, those two guys, like I think Tequil mentioned to his guys in the receiver room. He said it to me afterwards. Like Vincent Shavers made a game-changing tackle to set up a touchdown, and then he's over there yesterday when he's not in, he's giving reps on the scout team to the offense and talking trash and having fun because he loves to play football. He's not entitled to. Well, I mean, I don't get phone calls from people about why is he not in a black shirt this week, Coach. He doesn't come to my office. Why am I not in a black shirt? He comes to my office and says, Coach, can I watch the first second down runs with you? What do I need to do better? It's just a whole different mindset. So when like when people ask me like Coach, why do you care about the guys like going to recovery or going to treatment or are you trying to run a really disciplined organization? No, I actually just want the guys to eat because they want to be big and strong. I want the guys to recover because I want them to like be healthy on game day. I like the guys like Dane Key that are in there, every chance that they get, like because everything we do, we don't do it to say we did it. We do it to play well, and that's what I love about Jacory. That's what I love about V9. Like for V9, there's no difference between the game and the Tuesday practice. It's competition to him, and so I think it's a very special quality. So yeah, I'm always trying to search that out. And they also have to be big, fast, and explosive. Saying I had that, I just couldn't run. So I made an okay coach, but I want those kind of guys 100%.
After evaluating the game film and then this week of practice, is there any more clarity at left tackle? And you said you kind of wanted to.
Yeah, Gunner will start.
Do you expect any significant difference in the stadium atmosphere with alcohol sales?
I never thought about that. I hope we're still Nebraska nice. I hope we're not yelling at me or no. I think I go to the baseball games. I go to the basketball games. They serve beer there, right? Like I've never seen an unruly crowd. I mean, we have the best fans in sports, so I think people can go have a couple beers at the game, and it's not like it's like $1 beer night, right? I mean, it's still what is it, like $8 beer, something like that. I mean, saying you can have a couple beers and enjoy the game. I mean, like I think it's I think our fans, of any fans in the country, our fans can go have a beer and a hot dog and watch the game, and I think our night game atmosphere is elite. I mean, if it's any better, then I'll buy the beer. Like, I mean, gracious, I mean, it's just so fantastic. So I can't wait for it. Honestly, I think I told you guys once before, like, there was a chance last year to play one more night game, and we didn't do it. I told Haven, like, don't ever let me do that again. We're all thinking recovery, and we play at 11 next week. Like, the night game atmosphere here is special.
Anything specific you want to see from Makai Nelson and Isaiah Lindsey?
Well, Makai just has to play the way he's capable of playing. He doesn't have to do anything special. He's a really good player. He just has to get his opportunities and take advantage of them. We'll have to give him some opportunities. I do want to see him play on some special teams. I've challenged him to get on some of those things. And Mosie's going to have a unique role, obviously with, we've had some injuries, so, he's a guy who can do a lot of different things. And so I just want to see, those guys just be themselves. I think the biggest thing about where our team is right now, and, every coach has a philosophy. I blend a lot from, Coach Wooden, and, I always believe that, preparation leads to poise and confidence, which leads to competitive greatness. And I just want the guys to be confident, to trust themselves. And I want them to be poised, to be themselves, right? Like poised where you're not fighting yourself, where you trust yourself. So I don't need them to like go into the game and do something special. I just need them to go be themselves. And what I don't want is to see them be somebody else, right? Like to show up at the game and all of a sudden start doing new things or, start panicking. Like, we're a good football team. Not everything's going to be easy all the time. I want them to enjoy the adversity of the games. I want them to respect their opponents, but I want them to play fearlessly. And I think both those guys, we just had to give an opportunity, right? I mean, I said I kind of explained what happened last week, but I don't know that that'll happen this week. I think we'll try to get those guys in a little bit earlier, and we just have to let them go play.
Since you had the thing with Danny Woodhead in your podcast.
Oh, you saw that?
What's the handicap in your all-time favorite course you played?
My all-time favorite course. Jeez, I'm gonna sound so bougie when I say these things. Let me just say this: the person that cut it, because they like cut it. Like they cut out. I mean, I was so terrible. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even hit the ball in the simulator. I mean, I'm bad, but I'm not that bad. Danny Woodhead and cameras, and I was wearing an outfit, like a dress pants and a shirt, which I'm not used to right now. So those are all my excuses. But my handicap, I'm probably like a 20. Wishes back there's kind of like looking at me like, really? 22. If you take my gin, I don't. I see a lot of coaches, they update their scores. I'm not putting anything in my gin account. If I play a course, no one's gonna know, like unless you were there. But I'd say I've been lucky. I had a chance to go down to Augusta. I went there with my son, and I went there with some great friends of ours. So that was a bucket list moment, and my favorite experience has been going out to Sandhills, out in Mullen. Like just your phone doesn't work. I play my best golf there. Like my phone doesn't work, and you can just relax. I mean, the first year I saw there were like jackrabbits. I've never seen a jackrabbit in my life, so a little scared at first, but I was out there with some guys who just hey, just enjoy this. But I just literally I'm out there. I'm saying to myself, like, can you imagine like being out here like 200 years ago and like coming across like those those rolling hills and being like, where should we go live? Like, it's just amazing to me what people have done in their lives. So just the nature of it, going up at night and like looking at the stars. I grew up in New York City. Like I never saw a star in my life. Like seeing the stars is so beautiful. So I loved going out to Sandhills. But there's great courses here. I mean, I think really like I have so many friends from back home that come here and they're like take her to play Firethorn, go up Lost Rail, go to Arbor Links, go to Omaha Country. I'm trying to name everyone, so all the golf pros will be like, Matt, come out and play anytime you want. So as you can see, I need the work, but I don't play during the season. So, but not a very good golfer. We have some really good golfers on our staff, but I am not one of them. So, thank you guys very much. See you after the game.